Welcome everyone to the stream, session 15 of the Seregen campaign. I'm the Wombat of DM, and with me we have Belzian the Half-Elf Monk, Roger the Elf Rogue, Ulrich the Human Paladin, Yarvik the Halfling Ranger, Zippo the Kobold of Magicness, and Jordan the Human Bard. We had a pretty eventful session last time, where the group, after defeating bandits, looted the bandit camp and exploded it, and then brought what they could loot back to the village that the bandits stole from, and took a few things of their own as well, which we're going to quantify before we continue session today, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. But yeah, ultimately, they found a lot of interesting things, some of which they've identified and some of which they have not. And uncovered a few plot points, perhaps, as to maybe where to go next or what might be happening in the near future. Such as a plot against the king, some magical or non-magical contraptions, and a scrap of a book that was mostly burnt from the quarry that Belzian has been hunting for this whole campaign, only to find that he has unfortunately passed at this point. And maybe even been cremated. Not by his party member Zippo, but by Roger, who pulled the kill switch.
Threw a crossbow at the kill switch. Not
yeah,
fired.
Instead of shooting,
Through.
not firing a crossbow, through. Yeah. So, basically, the party left New Pod as evening, the sun was setting. The town was meeting to discuss what they were going to do next, whether they're going to get out of Dodge or stay and defend the village. But the group didn't want to be privy to that, didn't want to influence their decision, but also didn't want to get caught in the crossfire if the bandits happened to decide to attack and strike back at that moment. So at this point, the party is headed northwest toward J-ain, from what I understand, correct?
Yep. Gotta go warn the king. Or more likely the king's advisors and guards.
Gotta discover new magic.
Are we going for a ride in the wagon?
I'm riding in the wagon with my dog. I don't know who's driving the wagon.
I'm driving the wagon.
Oh, perfect.
We take turns driving the wagon.
Yeah, you can drive the wagon.
Are we there
Ulrich
yet?
just sees the twinkle in your eye and hands the reins right over.
So I know we blew up the bandit camp and all, but what do we have here? What did we get, Roger? Ulrich?
A sense of accomplishment.
Give me a minute.
Roger, I see you have a new horse.
Yeah, I've got a new horse and some shiny new armor that only has a little bit of other people's blood on it. We've got a whole bunch of boxes with stuff in them. We gave the special alchemical crossbow bolts to the villagers, though I think you kept some. And we've got a box.
So the crossbow bolts that had the powder on them, now that you are past that point, and have given them to the villagers, were powder charges that when they reached a certain point, they'd explode a color, a warning sign of red or green.
Good to know. Let's see. We got a box of silver powder. We got the remains of that page that the dungeon master was talking about. And we got a box of spyglasses.
Okay, so you guys didn't give those to them.
Nope. We also have a bag of gold pieces from the leader that was left at the camp. I don't know if we ever got a number.
Did we also?
There was 100.
Okay.
Did you also count my my 2 potion bottles or my bottles of like the black liquid and the green liquid?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you take all of
Yeah, I
those,
took all of those. Yeah.
Zippo?
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
making sure that we got them. That I took them all.
Yeah.
If it was inside
Or
of the
The cave.
the room, that we kept it for sure.
There are 10 vials of black liquid. And,
9 vials. I used 1 vial.
Yeah, he used one
okay.
to burn it.
And 20 vials of green shimmering liquid.
Yes, the one we're not constant sure about. I'm 80% sure the black one is ink now, but I'm not 100% sure. But Zippo's math could also be very off because he doesn't really know what ink is because he doesn't write a lot. Everything he needs to write, he just kind of burns.
Make sure if you've got those things that you add them to your inventory so that you don't forget about them and that you can transfer them if
Yeah, I got them in there. That's why I remembered, just because I was looking at my inventory and seeing them. I was like, wait a minute, let me make sure we got these on the list.
I've got them in my notes, so I'll add them to the inventory later.
Should we divvy up the gold amongst us, or should we create this? We got a good opportunity to create like a group fund for when we're staying at hotels or something like that. That way, Ulrich doesn't have to keep floating the bill.
Ooh, a discretionary fund.
The awkward part about that is that we're then dividing things 7 ways. I guess we can take the most reasonable multiple of 6 and put the rest in the discretionary fund or the common funds.
That might not be a bad idea.
What we consider to be the most reasonable multiple of 6.
So what is 100 divided by 6?
It's like 2 and change or something. Let me.
It's 16.67.
So everybody gets 16, and then whatever's left over goes into the discretionary fund. Is that what we're
Should be 4 left over. Comes out to 96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. That's the right number.
Belzian is busy driving a horse and has no want of gold, so puts all his share in the party fund. The party planning committee fund.
Yeah, we could just call it a drunken party fund.
Slosh money.
the PPC?
Sounds like a deal.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna worry too much about 100 gold.
100 gold does seem to be quite a bit for most people that I know. How much money does your family have?
I didn't mean that as, we don't need to talk about money.
Just be sure
But we
to give
can.
a small donation for the next chapter of the 12 that we run into. They can always use it.
So now that we're thinking about it, Ulrich.
Hello?
Okay, there we go. Phone's not ringing anymore. So now that we're thinking about it, Ulrich, you're from J-ain, right?
Well, no, I get around here, but I'm not originally from J-ain, no.
Oh. But you know some stuff about J-ain, correct?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Do they got places like that one we visited where I got my dog at, but that sells more exotic stuff, or a magic shop that's not named Magic's Magic?
They definitely have magic shops that ain't named Magic's Magic.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
Like
Last
that
time
store.
I was here, I definitely couldn't have afforded anything in a magic shop, so I couldn't tell you.
That's fair. They're probably all pretty pricey, but I just want to check prices that aren't Magic's Magic prices. Because you never know. That gnome dude, look, he just had a twinkle in his eye that gave me just a psychotic feeling. I know, because I'm a psychopath myself.
At least you recognize it.
Better the evil you know, I guess.
Exactly. At least you guys know I won't burn you in your sleep sometimes.
No is a strong word.
Why was there a qualifier there? At least you guys know I won't burn you in your sleep sometimes.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I just wake up in the middle of the night and it just feels like a good thing to set everything on fire, but I don't.
And that's why we always share a watch, Zippo.
You're just
Fair.
Kobolds have never really been much for music, but there is one single that is spread throughout the world. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's called "If You Love Something, Set It on Fire." It's quite catchy.
How does that one go? I
If you love something, set it on
If it
fire.
burns down, it was never meant to be.
it's simply catchy.
It's kind of poppy, actually.
Zippo's just looking out for us in case it gets really cold one night.
You're gonna need way more alcohol than that tonight.
I might. We'll see. All right. So now that we've divvied up the gold and made some slight adjustments to our character sheets, shall we get on down the road?
I guess the question is, are you guys inspecting any of the papers and or items further, or are you going to wait to do that until some other time?
I thought we already did that.
I mean,
You've done brief looks at some things, and you didn't take too long to study all the papers, but yeah.
yeah, I would say Ulrich, since he's not driving the cart after all, he'd probably be looking over stuff.
Okay, what are you going to look at? Are you going to look at the silver dust, the globe, the rings, the papers, the maps, the
Maps.
scrap of paper? Okay. Okay, so I believe you guys gave the maps of the village to the village, right? To show them what the plans were that the bandits were going to do, or did you show them and then keep them for a new pod?
The villagers know what the village looks like.
Yeah, I don't feel like they needed to keep them. I think we'd keep the maps as like more proof.
Okay.
The maps would be inaccurate since some of the houses are now missing.
Well, so the one map, just as a reminder, was like a plan of attack. So like it had like numbers for, and they're accurate numbers as to which farms were attacked first, second, third,
Right.
fourth, and so on. And then there was an L marked next to several locations in town, probably referred to as last, as in like the last establishments to attack.
Mm-hmm.
There were also some that were had X marks on them as non-targets, such as the church.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think showing that to them should be sufficient so that they know.
And then the overlay showed changes to the town, buildings that they'd construct and or repair or turn into like living quarters or like embankments for people to fortify and things like that.
Right.
Since it turns out that the bandits were not only just bandits but families of bandits living in the woods, it's assumed that they'd probably make a pretty decent appearance of a town. God knows what would have happened should you have arrived after they had enacted their plan and you'd actually visited Newpod and it was a town full of bandits posing as the village, and what that would have done. An interesting story for sure.
I'm glad we
got there.
avoided the interesting story.
Yeah.
There.
The other maps, one is marked the castle cells. This isn't the high security long term prison. That's called Breakwater. This is the main holding cells, the short term holding cells below the castle. Breakwater is located adjacent to the mines that are in J-ain. They're old mines that are in disuse and have been kind of repurposed mostly into a prison, although there are a few people who have permits to continue mining in that area. But only in areas nowhere near where the prison is. I'm only giving you this information because you'd know it, Ulrich. The other map was the throne room. It just shows entry points, and the throne room has a glass ceiling. It has entry points from the back, from the front, the main doors, and then there's also entry points above in the balcony that rings the throne room. It's a traditional throne room.
Okay.
I believe you mentioned that there are also guard patrols.
Yeah, there's guard patrol logs and times and numbers. There's no names. It seems like those are omitted or not needed in these plans. They're more like how many guards patrol and what areas. So basically kind of ideas for where maybe high traffic points and low traffic points might be. And these are detailed. There's wall patrols, and I don't mean like the wall. I mean like the castle, the city wall. And then there's castle patrols as well.
Okay.
And then the last map is of the royal living quarters, which is attached to the castle. And it's just kind of a basic map of different facilities within that royal area. So think of it like the west wing of the president's house, the White House.
Okay.
That's the west wing, right? Or is that the east wing? It's the living area of the private area of the
Gotcha.
the ruler.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So what do you?
And then I guess the last thing to say is that, and I don't have my map up, so I can't tell you what the actual date is, but the date that's listed on the plot, the main page of the with different rotations of the guards, it's listed. The dates listed for it is 5 days from now.
Right. Right. Which is why we were leaving tonight.
Very interesting. Well, what do you think? What do you think? Maybe they're trying to take over the castle and pretend to be guards and live there too?
I mean, I think they're just trying not to be noticed. It's going to be some kind of insurrection.
So I think one of two things has happened. Either they've spent a lot of time studying the guards very close up to get all of this information, or there's a mole. Right? There's someone on the team that's spying.
Yeah, I think the wind was catching every other word you said there, but
I think the mole strategy is probably more reliable. Like, I feel like the guards would eventually become suspicious of certain things, like groups of people were standing around certain areas or something. But if it's like one of their own, they wouldn't really think much of it.
Yeah. I mean, we've certainly had our share of folks pretending to be who they're not, so it wouldn't be the first time.
Huh.
Now, question is, who are we gonna talk to? Because we don't want to tip anyone off if there is a mole.
Captain of the guard. If the captain of the guard's been subverted, then there's nothing we can do about it, obviously. But
What if
captain
we
of
get
the
there
guard.
and they think we're the bandits? They think we're the imposters.
Well, that's why we got papers.
Ulrich and I should be well known enough to vouch for the rest of you.
That's good.
Hopefully.
Who said anything about vouching for them?
Well, I'll be vouching for their skills and for their character or lack thereof.
No, I think we'll be all right. I suppose talking to the captain of guard is probably just as good as anything.
Captain also has the authority to change the schedules at the last minute.
Yeah, adding folk is what they're going to have to do. Or well, we could suggest that he put in an all notice that they're going to be reducing staffing levels while actually adding plenty more for those he knows he can trust. Or she, I don't remember who the captain is anymore.
That seems like a good trick. It's like when you're about to kick somebody, but you yell out "ultimate punch" first. They expect
to
a
clarify. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm assuming it's Marius still, but I don't know that it is. It's been a few months. You know how these things go.
Actually, no, I have no idea how these things go.
I honestly don't know anything about this either. I mean,
all right. I mean,
there's a moment of hesitation and thoughtfulness, and then
Actually, no, we don't know what you're talking about.
Who else been to the Capitol? Raise your hand.
all right. I mean, all right, Roger, you should know. You know how it goes. Sometimes you say the wrong thing, you're put somewhere else. There's a reason you and I are on the road and we're not enjoying ourselves in the lap of luxury in the city.
So you're saying you got the crap detail?
I'm pretty sure I have.
I'm saying we backed the wrong side initially.
I didn't.
Don't let the king hear you say that.
So, Roger, just to clarify, you supported Gareth at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the current king.
Yeah.
Gareth with a J, right?
I thought it was Gareth with an I.
The J is silent.
Wait, why did I think you were also supporting?
Nope.
Oh. All right. Well, disregard what I said just now as far as don't let the king hear you say that.
The whole reason Roger took up this line of work is because the king pulled his family out of abject poverty.
Okay. All right. Well, let me rephrase that. I backed the wrong side. And now I get to roam the road and meet fine folks like you.
You really did get the crap details in.
Yep.
So what's the road like between New Pod and Jane here along the King's Road?
Yeah. Are we taking the road itself, or are we going stealth mode 4x4 through the thicket?
Yeah, that's a good question.
This
Go
I
ahead.
say, I feel like this road should be like reasonably well guarded because it's right near the capital.
The closer you get, the more patrols there will be for sure. But you also know that there haven't been as many patrols as of late, as evidenced by New Pod's attacks that have gone or overlooked, I guess that's the term. I would also note that it's mainly open plain between here and Jane. The forest is, of course, to the north where the bandits resided, but they kind of follow parallel to the road, and then kind of the road peels off due west as you continue. But it's a pretty substantial plain with only a few hills and not a lot of cover. So whenever you decide to make camp tonight, you'll be able to see anybody else making camp, but they'll also be able to see you.
Trick will be to not light a fire.
That goes against everything I stand for.
So since the sun is setting and you are doing your best to make your way away from New Pod, I assume you're going at a quicker speed than usual. Is that a fair thing to say?
Sure.
Are you following the road or are you going off the road?
I don't see any reason not to follow the road.
Okay. How long are you traveling before you call it quits for the night?
Well, we want our spellcasters to regain their spells, right? Zippo's cast a bunch of spells. So
we
maybe.
set out. I mean, so it was like what 6:37 when we set out.
Yeah, I'd say 7.
I'd say till like just past midnight. Right? I mean, get 5 hours.
Makes sense.
So with 5th edition, how long do you need to rest in order to regain?
8.
8
So
for
what?
spells,
Technically,
yeah.
it's 6 hours of sleep, 2 hours
And then
of
2 hours of
downtime.
rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like watching is usually what those 2
Yes.
hours are.
Yeah.
So you said 5 hours? Do you mean 6 hours then?
Oh, I mean, depending on exactly when we left.
Oh, 5 hours of travel.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see. Got it.
So I mean, I
Um,
just feel like midnight-ish or sometime thereabouts seems like a fair time to stop.
How's everybody else feel about that?
That works for me.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm guessing you guys are getting up at 6 in the morning. Or we
All
sleep
right.
until 8.
I think we should. Are we going to try to get a full long rest in there?
Yeah, if you're doing a long rest, it'll need to be 8 with watches.
Okay, so we'll get 2 watches then. Somebody's going to be a little sleep deprived unless they sleep in the cart while we're driving.
Yeah, you'll need to do 4 watches for it to get everybody, right?
Should only need to do 3.
Right, because as an elf, you don't need to sleep as much.
In fact, if the cart is calm enough that I can transcend, I can do both watches.
I'm good with whatever as long as I get my spells back.
Because I can actually trance in 4 hours. I don't need to wait the full 8. Whereas I don't think anybody else is going to get uninterrupted sleep by staying in the car.
Yarvin can
is
sleep
there any-
anywhere. He can sleep in a drawer, a tree. He's very compact.
So I say we stop at 11. That way everybody can get 8 hours, and we just leave 7. That's like a perfect middle ground.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
All right. So you travel for 4 hours. Since Belzian is driving, Belzian, I'm going to need you to make a check. Let me decide what that check is going to be. This is mainly because you're driving at night. It's not like you've got your high beams on. So we need to make sure that everything goes okay.
Ooh, can I say it? I have dark vision. I
There
just
you
wanted
go.
to say it.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes, actually.
Good. So that will help. But can I get a handle animal check? An animal handling check, I should say.
It is a 23.
Very nice. All right, so Belzian deftly drives the cart as if he has driven the cart for nights and nights before, despite previous history not alluding to such things. But yeah, he expertly drives the cart around potholes and things like that. It seems like Seregen has not been upkeeping the road very well. The road, while cobbled, is pitted with thrown stones and things of the sort. So while the King's Road is the best road that you've been on so far, it's not great quality. It's not the quality that it used to be, for sure. All right, so are you breaking for the night on the road? Are you going a little bit off the road? What's the plan there?
I mean, I feel like the roads are safe enough that we might not get attacked if we sit close enough to them. Like, not right on them, but, like maybe 10, 15 feet off the road.
Yeah, like pull off to the side.
Yeah, I think we should probably stay close to the road so that we can get back on the road quickly. If we see any signs of trouble.
What if somebody goes by that needs our help? We'll be easily accessible.
So as a heads up, you guys made it to about halfway through the first square to J-ain. You made it 12 miles today.
Heck yeah.
So, like,
I'm gonna have to zoom in.
oh, come on. There it goes. So 12 miles, but
We still see New Pod from here?
you can see the glow. Although there's not much of a glow now that it's
Okay, so it's not on fire. So that's cool. Our work here is done. Yeah, I vote close to the road.
Yeah. I guess I've just woken up from my trance, so close-ish to the road.
So by my estimates, if you travel at normal pace, you'll go about 24 miles a day, and you have my dice and my headphones. You have about 65 miles. So another 2.5 days or so. I can still hear you.
It's good.
All right, so Who's taking first watch? Second watch, third watch, and fourth?
We're only doing 2, right?
Okay, so who's doing first watch and who's doing second?
Ulrich will take first.
Roger will be on both, I think, because he already slept, right? He already tranced in the cart.
You were trancing while we were traveling.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fair. Does anybody want Jordan to identify anything while during his rest?
I mean, if that orb has magic on it.
Yeah, the orb with like the jewels on it, right?
If you could check the spy glasses and the silver dust too.
Anything else?
Rings.
Rings.
Yeah, there were also
like
some rings. Probably a good idea to add those.
Rings, the page of the book.
If there's any time left over, is it possible to make a copy of the page in the book?
that? Yeah, he could definitely make a copy of that.
No, it's probably forbidden and all, but it wouldn't hurt to have an extra one.
All right, so
Jordan's Xerox service.
I'm wondering, what do you do now that the book has been burned, except for this one page, Belsian?
Gonna have some sad news to report back to the library, that's for sure.
Do you think that we could try to find another copy of that book?
Maybe at a different library, but to my understanding, it was the only one of its kind. As much as I do not like to deliver bad news, it seems like more interesting developments have come up in this journey, so I'm going to take my sweet time to get back there.
we'll say on the road while we're traveling, Jordan casts Identify via ritual in the cart, kind of sitting next to Amethyst. So
Elf-like.
the globe he detects is magical and detects that there is the round circle at the top seems to activate the globe, the sphere, I should say. But he can't tell what it is.
Okay.
And he thinks he might be able to tell what it is once it's turned on in terms of identity, but he's hesitant to do so at the moment.
If
Somebody says,
I can tell you it's a bomb.
right, yeah, like he's like, I don't want to push this unless the group's. I don't want to. Let me get into character. I don't want to push this unless the group thinks that I should definitely push it, and if so, I don't really want to be in the cart when I do it. He inspects the silver dust. It seems to be a material component, not a magical item itself. And the spyglasses all seem to be rudimentary. He checks 2 of them. He doesn't check all 7. For good reason. Like, he doesn't want to spend 70 minutes checking out each one, you know. And he identifies one of the rings of the 8. And it's a ring of communication. Since all the rings look identical, he assumes that the rest are. He identifies one more, and it's indeed another ring of of communication.
How many were missing? There were 12, right?
4. There's 12, and you have 8. So a ring of communication. It's a rare, and it requires attunement. While wearing this ring, you are able to communicate with any individual that holds another attuned ring of communication. When activated, those you decide to communicate with can clearly hear any words spoken by you within 1 mile. The volume of the speech and the background noise at either end make no difference. Whispers are audible above even the sounds of combat. These words are only heard by you. If you do not have the ring active, others will not be able to contact you, and you will not be able to communicate with them.
And you can choose who to talk to, not just everybody that has one of the rings.
You can only choose. You can choose who to talk to, but it has to be someone who's wearing a ring.
And you have to know them.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, so it would seem. That you'll have to probably experiment a bit.
You have to identify them. What do you say that we all put one of them on?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me.
Like, as long as the spies, the rebels can't use these to eavesdrop on us, seems pretty practical. Like, the worst case scenario is one of them attempts to contact us, and
Yep.
the ring lets them know that we have the ring, which they should probably already know that.
Yeah, one thing worth doing is maybe pocketing the rings when we're interacting with our contacts in the guards. If there is a mole, we don't want one of them seeing it and putting two and two together.
Gotcha.
So we should be careful
Ulrich?
when we wear the rings and when we activate them or not. When we mute our rings.
Ulrich, could you do me a favor and make a history check? Okay.
Yep.
Something's still tugging at the back of your head, but you still can't think of what it is.
Yep. All right. I'm just saying we should definitely be careful with these. I mean, it's fine to use, but we don't want to show our hand.
But
Thank you, Jordan.
I believe that takes care of everything. Jordan, during his downtime, during first watch, will copy over said document as much as he can. You know, he chooses not to illustrate the charred parts, just kind of transposes.
Very cool.
It's not his best work. It's kind of like he doesn't see whether he doesn't see it worth completely reproducing accurately or not. It's kind of like a rough sketch of what the paper actually looks like in terms of, like, you see that there's a jewel and some lines and some arrows and things like that, and then the words that were there, but you know, it's not a Xerox by any shape of the imagination.
Jordan, this is very fine work. I would put it on the fridge. Great job.
Zippo, come draw one of these. I want to compare.
It's like a stick figure.
Oh, good. I'm going to go to bed so I can get my spell slots back. But I am interested in that thing, so nobody press the button on top till I wake up in the morning.
You realize that if you ask Zippo to draw to reproduce the document, he'd take one of your books, rip a page out of it, and burn it so that it would look like it.
I wouldn't rip a page out of it. I'd just burn the whole book.
Right.
I don't have books. Belzian might be upset about that, though.
Books have feelings too, you know.
Are we
Snoozing and watching.
time to go to sleep, everybody.
CP
It's not.
times.
me and Ulrich, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So first watch is Roger and anybody else, or are you just watching all night
It's
by yourself, Roger?
Roger and Ulrich for first watch, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. And then second.
Roger and
I'll take the second watch.
Okay. So, and then I guess the third watch is just going to be Roger while everybody else sleeps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. because I've already gotten my my transcend.
Interesting. All right, all three watches are uneventful. You don't see or hear anything in the distance, Roger, or anything up close, as far as you can tell. The day starts overcast and gloomy. There was no moons in the sky last night because it was overcast as well, and it's drizzling a bit. It's a wet day.
Well, if you want to experiment with fire, Zippo, today is the day.
I just want to hit the button.
Outside of the cart, though.
Outside of the cart.
Off to the northeast, or maybe even due east at this point, you do still see plumes of smoke rising from the forest.
That's perfection over there.
I wonder what happened over there.
Alright, so are we committing to pressing the button on the orb now?
Make sure you're at least 30 feet away from the cart.
Okay.
Yarvik is committing to watching you press the button.
And,
Okay,
and at
that's
least
fine.
30 feet from the rest of us.
That's fine. Okay, so Zippo's gonna run.
Wait. Before you do, just tell us, what kind of funerary rites do you prefer?
If I die, toss me into the wall like a football.
All right.
Alright, thank you.
So, Zippo, you don't know that that's the actual burial rite.
I don't, but I can't go back to my tribe, so just toss me into that thing like a football.
Well, this is,
I would
this is in
assume
character.
Zippo-
He wants the dragons on the other side to save him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
They'll take
fair.
my body into...
Yeah, I was going to assume that Zippo would want to be put in a boat and cast down the river, but that works too.
So as soon as I left my tribe, I just left all their things behind.
Okay.
This is new Zippo. Okay, so Zippo's going to go over. And is there like a time limit I have to press the button? Could Jordan suss that out, or is it just press the button and it activates?
Push the button.
Okay,
Press
so
the button, drop it, and run.
So I'm gonna book it over to as far as they want me to go away, and I'm gonna press the button. And the moment I press the button, I'm gonna go into my ring and let it go, so I don't touch it, so it doesn't come in with me.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, could you give me a dexterity check?
So are you fast enough?
Oh, I got an 8.
Okay. So, as you push the button and begin popping into your ring, you see that the brass of the sphere begins to open up, and you can see blackness. Give me one. I know this is a cliffhanger, but my wife just messaged me something, and I gotta check it out. I'll be right back. There's an argument out front.
This is tense.
So guys, what should I name my new character?
Your character is fine. I'm afraid you might have broken the rope, though.
Rippo.
Yeah, Rippo.
Rippo it is.
No,
It might have just fallen in the mud. That might be
Atomic. You should name your new character Bick.
Zippo, you light up our lives.
I might have lit up this part of the universe, depending on what this thing does.
And campaign. Yeah.
If
Nuke the world.
if if Wombat really wanted to blow up his setting, it would have happened already.
That's fair.
He would have started us out much closer to the wall.
This works out perfectly because I had to go into my ring anyway to ask my patron something if they were in there. So this is like a win-win for me.
Very economical.
Yeah. Assuming I got away with it, that is.
All right, so a giant mushroom cloud explodes outward, engulfs the party, and we all have to
Knew it.
I mean,
So, as the brass begins to spread open, and you can see a dark ebony-like substance underneath begin to light up, you go into your ring, and your master begins to speak to you. Good morning, Zippo.
Morning, Master.
How are you?
Hopefully not dead when I come out of this thing.
I would certainly hope not.
Yeah, me too. While I got you, I found this map, and I'll pull the map out. And I'll leave it in here. If you can transcribe some of it, or if you can figure out what it means, that would be a great help because I found it near the ring that you were in. So I'm thinking it might have something to do with you. I just don't know myself. I can't read it. I'm not smart enough.
I'll look into it.
Thank you very much. Well, I got you also. If I did die, how big of a damper does that put on our plans?
Well,
and what can I expect in the dragon afterlife also? Because this is a new thing to me. Do I have to be tossed into the wall to go into the afterlife?
Your patron pauses for a moment and says, I've given you the abilities to not die. I trust that you will remain that way while you are in my employ. But all is not lost should you perish. Our missions will continue in some way, shape, or form.
Very good.
But fear not, the dragons will embrace you when the time comes for you to depart the mortal plane.
Yes! Okay, well, I'll be back tomorrow, Master, and then I'll dip out of my ring.
All right, meanwhile, while the ring has fallen to the ground, the rest of the group sees that the brass sphere has turned into a black sphere with a lit up surface. From this distance, it's kind of hard to tell what is lighting up on it, but it doesn't seem to be causing any damage to its surroundings.
except that it made Zippo disappear.
Right. But, I mean, a perception check that you've all made show you that the ring drops to the ground. You're used to Zippo's antics by now.
All right, I'll go up and look at it.
Okay, as you all walk up to look at it, Zippo pops out of the ring in front of you and scoops up the ball real quick to look at it as well.
Yeah. That sounds like a Zippo thing.
So what you see is a line work map in light on the globe. So I'll give you the item description. This globe seems to be an ornate gilded ball with stand. Its gold casing is an intricate swirled pattern of fine craftsmanship inset with 12 gems ringing the exterior. A mechanism at the top, when pressed, opens the globe, and within is an ebony ball. So it's a rough line work version of the world. So you see all of Seregen's coasts etched out in light in the globe. There are no distinguishing markings of tree or mountain or city. It's just the line work of the river, so it seems to denote water and land. It has no topography or locations on its surface, so there's no wording, nothing like that. It doesn't say Seregen. You also see in a big, thick, bright line the angle of the wall. So it depicts water, land, and the wall. So whatever this magic is detecting, it's picking up those things. Additionally, you see four dots on the map. One is presumably around the location that you are at, and it's more of a yellow than a white. It's more distinct than the other lights, and then the other lights are white. One is due west of you, and the other three are peppered around Seregen. One south of you, one west of you, and one north of you.
And about how far south and north does it look like relative to our position and the wall's position?
Looking at your map of Seregen and trying to circumnavigate it on the globe that you have, one looks like it's in J-ain, one looks like it's in Rulidrin, one looks like it's in Istobel, and one is in Learden.
It's weird. All the way down there.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if there are more of these.
If there is a faint hum to the device as you're holding it. Is anybody else there besides Roger and Zippo?
Yeah, Ulrich approached as well.
Yeah, let's all take a look.
Ulrich, give me one more history check, please.
All right. This is a thing I'm proficient in, so let's see if I can actually make it work.
You got this.
Nope.
I mean, 10's a pretty good result in 5th edition.
It's
Better than the last one
it's
you
a
did.
6 for a roll, though.
I will say that you're going to be rolling it with advantage for this one.
Okay. Let's see. Getting better.
All right. Something clicks into place in your head, and you realize something. You quickly pull out the sheet that you found in the pocket of the noble and look at it. The mechanism that is described in that paper, in that blueprint,
Yep.
it's this globe.
All right.
It looks like this globe was created, commissioned based off of this drawing.
All right. Well, that's
Jordan picks up the device now that it's open and takes 10 minutes to meditate on it. And actually uncovers a bit more about both the globe, and he realizes that the reason he knew something about it without really being able to activate it is because there is a connection between the rings and the globe. The globe of location has its own power source and therefore does not need attunement. And the rings it detects do not need attunement in order to be detected by the device. So basically the 4 dots you're seeing on the map are the other 4 rings.
All right.
Oh hell yeah, we got a spy finding device.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we got
This is
Spy and
perfect.
Jane.
Yeah, just like we
We-
guessed.
I was right.
Yep.
You also know that if the dots are near enough, they will appear as a brighter singular dot on the map instead of individual dots.
Right.
So for example, if you guys wore rings, you would appear on the map, and the more of you that were wearing the rings, the brighter that would appear.
Be a big bright blob.
Oh yeah, I assume Ulrich would have been attuning to the ring during last night during the watch, and he will
Then
put
you
it on
also
at this
see
point.
that the yellow dot has a white dot within it.
Yep. All right. Well.
Who's going to be holding the globe of location?
Ulrich.
Like, who's going to keep it?
Yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
How big is it?
Big enough.
It's about 2 fists tall.
It's more about how you use it.
So the part that I didn't read from the description last night, and by last night I mean like before you guys took watch, is if you do not have the ring active, others will not be able to contact you, and you will not be able to communicate with them. The set of 12 communication rings are linked to the globe of location, which allows the ring to be tracked by the globe. This ability cannot be deactivated. Each ring in the set looks identical, a ring of silver and gold twisting around each other. These are items that I have added to
Ooh, nice card.
D&D Beyond, so you are able to just add those to your inventory, those of you who are going to attune to them.
Done and done.
Yeah, might as well.
One of us. Are we all putting on these rings? Are they kind of like walkie-talkies in that they have to be turned on and off? Is that what you mean by activating?
I'm going to assume that they're always active unless you tell me not that they're not.
Okay. And it can still be tracked when they're not active, if they've been attuned.
So basically they are active as long as they're attuned. So if you take it off and unattune, then it's off.
Okay.
All right. So the one thing we should be aware of here is, I mean, we can't be sure, but the guy we took out in Ari was a Benjamin loyalist. So presumably, who we're facing here are Benjamin loyalists.
Gerard loyalists? I thought the Benjamin loyalists were few and far between. Didn't he die really early in the war?
Well, I mean, actually, yes, that's correct, right? Yep.
Yeah, he died
Yeah.
first.
So I mean, that's fair, but why I don't, I'm just kind of piecing this together. The guy who had the schematic here, he was a Benjamin loyalist. I mean, it's possible it could be Gerard loyalist too.
Silver's groups were Gerard loyalists, from the impression I had.
Who's Silver?
Shadow.
Shadow.
Did I forget where?
Start with S.
Well, then maybe it's a unification of a few factions here.
I'm concerned that there might be multiple globes.
That is also a possibility. But the question I wonder then is, Are they all attuned to the same 12 rings, you think? Like, are there multiple sets of rings?
I don't know a lot about magic, but that sounds like a pretty big undertaking.
I would agree. I would imagine even this one globe will be a pretty big undertaking, right? I mean, look at this. It's tracking the damn wall. Not tracking, but, showing.
I'd say it's probably a good bet that it was a large amount of time and money spent into making this. A lot of magics.
One interesting thing to note is that since you have a schematic of it, you know it's not an old item, which is pretty neat because usually artifacts are like old ancient things,
Yeah.
right? So like this is this is like it smells new, like no,
Brand new car smell right here.
Oh man, new magic. Wow.
Hey, you can practically smell the smithy on this.
I attempt to smell the orb or the globe.
It smells like cloves.
Nice. If there
This seems
are,
like
sorry, go ahead. Oh, okay, mute yourself. If there are more globes, the chances that one of the people who have another ring having it as well are pretty high since they were found close together. So with our globe, we would be able to see them closing in on us, and that would give us some time to prepare.
Well, yeah, but problem is we need to get to J-ain in a hurry, and we know there's at least one of the ring bearers in J-ain. I'm also wondering if what was going to go down was going to go down in 5 days. It's going to take a lot longer than 5 days to get from fucking Learden all the way up to J-ain.
Unless it was more of the people here were initiating the attack on Jane, and either there's more people attacking at the other marked areas, or those people were there for like crowd control. So like if Jane requested reinforcements from Rillidan, the people there could stop it because there's a spy there, so they could take those orders away in case Jane needed reinforcements. That's my guess. And the ones that are at the ones far away are more of like oh crap, these guys failed. Let's start from here where we're really far away where it recently happened, so no one will think that it's there.
I mean, Villagran's a slum. No offense to my hometown, but it's a slum. There won't be any reinforcements from Villagran. I think this is the list of conspirators that we can go and chase after if we want to.
As long as we leave the one for Rillidan for last, that's too close to my hometown for right now.
Villagran? I thought your hometown was far south of here.
It's Favor in the mountains of it's in the mountains of Dis, and that's too close for me.
Oh, Learden, you mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I stand by the idea that we just hustle Jane, and we're not gonna. I mean, they may see us coming.
But can they do anything about it? I doubt it.
Nope. Unless we bury the rings, which I don't know. They seem useful.
We did find a compendium of all of our likenesses and names. As
Although, sorry. Go ahead.
right, go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh no. That's you're right. We did find that compendium.
I was gonna say they already know who we are, supposedly.
That's
The
fair.
sketch of my mustache was disappointing.
You did correct it though, didn't you?
Didn't you correct it, then burn the place it was in down, so they never got to see the correction?
You're gonna have to show them that mustache in person.
So he corrected the mustache, and then he took Ulrich took the mustache, and then Amethyst burned the place down.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That's the order of events. So you still currently have those pictures, as well as plenty of other people, including the king.
So, I just realized that it wasn't until I put the ring on that I could see myself appear on the globe. So, as long as we're not wearing the rings when we enter J-ain, if they do have a globe, we're safe.
I think we should.
As long as you're attuned, it'll appear.
Disregard that.
So
We'll need to unattune to these items.
I think we should attune anyway. It's too practical.
I mean, there's
Yeah, I
also a
agree.
possibility of them thinking we're part of the plan as long as they don't see our faces yet. Like, if they have a globe and they see the orbs coming, they might think, oh, they're just coming to set up getting ready for the plan, you know?
That's fair.
Because I feel like this isn't something they would just pop in and be like, oh, by the way, guys, activate the plan. It'd be more of a last second, everybody communicates on the rings now, and then, you know.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think we should attune to them. We might be able to catch them by surprise.
Yep.
And they seem practical in their own right.
Yeah, they look so shiny.
Yep.
That means I'm wearing 2 rings now, guys.
Look at you go.
I feel fresh.
You look fresh.
Thank you. So wait, there's 8 rings, right? And there's 7 of us?
6 of us.
6 of us.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I said 7. Okay, then I'm gonna take the last 2 rings and put a rope on them and tie them around Brunhild's neck so she can look fresh as well.
I feel like inside of your dragon ring would be a safe place to put them, Zippo.
I can't go in there but once a day.
Yeah, honestly, that might be a safe place to put the globe too.
Fair.
Prevent
Well,
it from
but I suppose it's not like it's gonna tell us. You know.
it's zoomed out to the continent level. We're not going to see the
Yeah,
difference.
exactly. That's fair. Well, something for tomorrow, I suppose.
Food for thought, yeah.
You down to get on the road?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys pack up for the day and get on the road. And you're traveling for the whole day and some change. How long are you traveling today? Are you stopping at all for like breaks?
Like realistically, 8 hours of travel is probably as good as we can expect, especially if it's raining. We don't want to push the horses and be forced to carry the stupid cart or Zippo. Now that we have 2 horses.
All right. So did I hear a number for hours?
8.
8. Okay. So you're let's say this took about 30 minutes for you guys to like figure out and discuss the rings and the globes and everything like that. So it's about 7:30 now. So 8 hours would put you at 3:30.
Well, we take a break for lunch, of course.
Okay. All right. So you travel for 8 hours.
What about second lunch?
What about 5th lunch?
11sies.
We have duck sausage for all of those meals.
That's true.
Jarvik covetously cradles his bandolier of one of his remaining bandoliers of sausage. By the way, I did put that in my inventory as a bandolier of sausage. 3 of them.
So it's okay. We can have sausage with our hardtack biscuits.
Yum.
So one thing I will say is that thing that I went to go check was a car that was parked in our road. Apparently, it's been blocking the road for over 30 minutes now, and people are getting very angry and honking and stuff.
I do love some good neighborhood drama.
Yeah, that's one thing I miss about living in the trailer park I used to live in is that there was always something good going on. Like couldn't watch TV because it was out because you have to have satellite back then. Had no internet because the storms were happening. Just go outside. Somebody's got something going on. One time, this dude lost his pet snake, and everybody in the trailer park was looking for it. And it was just fun to watch people like, is that it? Oh no!
Oh man, I remember one of my friends had satellite internet when I was growing up. It was miserable.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's as much as I like to hate on dial-up, which I've also experienced. Satellite is worse by far. So at least dial-up works when it's raining.
As long as mom doesn't pick up the phone.
Mom, get off the phone!
One of,
Mom, I need to download an MP3 on Kazaa.
one of my friends had an older sister who would at a time when you had to use the family phone to call people, and we had a hard time using the internet at his house because of her being on the phone all the time.
Look at us now. We're all playing D&D online now.
And using the
Yeah,
phone.
all these newfangled things.
Fancy.
All right, so as you're traveling, is there any anything that you guys are planning on doing while you're traveling, aside from, I guess, keeping an eye on the horizon?
Ulrich is going to look through the case, like the all the details about us and the king, and just try and see if he can identify anyone that he might know in J-ain on that list.
Okay.
I guess Roger.
Feel free to give me a investigation check on that while I'm working on this.
I guess Roger will look at the list with Ulrich. See if he might
Okay.
know some of those people.
That's why I got that 22.
Oh yeah.
Roger was
Now.
there.
As long as I don't have to roll the dice, we'll be fine.
Okay, so you don't recognize any of the other images other than the ones that I've mentioned that you recognize, which is yourselves and the king. But one thing I will make mention of is the absence of people you'd expect to be on the list, such as people in the military that you're familiar with, as well as Marius, the head guard, the captain of the guard of J-ain. None of them are listed as enemies of the Shades of Retribution. Now, you can read into that how you wish, whether that means anything or not. I'm just pointing out that they're absent. You don't recognize anybody else. There are probably 6 or 7 other people on the list, and they range from hobgoblin to like, not hobgoblin, half orc to elf. There's a halfling and there's a gnome, but like mainly they're human or you guys.
So, how well did Ulrich know Marius?
He knew him just in passing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not somebody Roger probably would have known very well. It's interesting that they don't have anyone in the military listed. I wouldn't expect the rebels to necessarily know who the captain of the guard is, but the King Gareth's generals certainly were well enough known.
Yeah. That was weird.
I wonder if this group is more than just a cell of insurrectionists. Or less than just. insurrectionists.
So as you're traveling, every once in a while you see passersby coming from J-ain, heading to the east. There we go again. Mainly they're guarded groups in with a cart similar to yourselves. Most of them appear to be merchants.
I'm gonna wave at all of them as we go past them.
Should we warn these people about New Pod?
Probably a good idea, also.
Yeah.
Okay, as we pass them, then Zippo wave like, "Hey, don't go to New Pod."
Yeah, like how would we warn passerbys?
Possible bandit invasion. Not really sure. We left them there. Hopefully, they can defend themselves. Good luck.
There's a large bandit camp north of New Pod. And the town's been under siege. Thought you might like to know.
Thought you ought to know. Troll in the dungeon. Anyway, each group thanks you in kind. Those that stop, some rush by. People minding their own business or don't want to mix with another group that's also armed. It be strange times these. One group warns that in a day's travel from here, something's been digging up the area around the road.
Thank you. Good to know.
Can't think of very many things that dig other than shovels.
Giant bugs.
Ew.
All right, so the rest of the day passes without incident. No signs of bandits in pursuit at this time. 3:30 comes, and you guys stop and I assume ravage some duck sausage.
What's the duck sausage sitch looking like?
I think we've probably down to two bandoliers. We've gone through a full bandolier. We've been quite generous with the sausage.
Are you going to be cooking the sausage,
Oh, yeah.
or is
Duck sausage,
Okay.
fried, baked, steamed, gumbo.
so you start a fire and start cooking up some lunch?
Zippo's been looking for an excuse to burn something all day. We'll just let him do it.
Zippo, do you create bonfire?
I believe Zippo's on a BRB.
Okay.
We'll assume he created a bonfire.
Yeah, but Jordan's like, Zippo, could you create a... And before he could even say bonfire, there's a bonfire on the ground. That's a cantrip, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, then I'm just going to say that happens because it's not going to cause him to lose any spells anyway.
If it's not a cantrip, he definitely has a fire cantrip. I refuse to believe Zippo doesn't have a fire cantrip.
Okay, yeah. So, I guess, is Yarvik cooking us up some lunch?
Yeah, but he's got the iron skillet out. He's got through the fire. He's poking at the sausages with a stick, making sure they're just right. Maybe some tubers in there, little potatoes, little carrots, whatever we have from the store. A little improvising, some spices in there, make it interesting.
Yeah. So let's see here. How do I want to do this? Give me a survival check. Okay. Yarvik prepares quite a fine meal, a tasty meal. You're not sure if it's his cooking or the ingredients, but either way, it's very tasty.
Sage old cave troll from back in the woods just told me, if you have good ingredients, just Get out of the way. Let them speak for themselves. He was a weird cave troll, but he did like sausage.
Welcome back. Zippo, just to fill you in, you create a bonfire before I could even say the word bonfire.
Awesome.
We needed to cook some lunch, so Jordan's like, Zippo, could you create a and you there was a flame on the ground.
That sounds about right. I was looking over, and like Buddy was looking over his bed, and I was like, that's weird. He normally just plays with it or jumps on it. No, he got sick all over it, so I had to take the whole thing outside.
Oh.
I have zero idea what I like. He's been outside for most of the day because on sunny days like today was he likes to be outside most of the time, and so I let him out. I have no idea what he ate out there to make him sick. If I had to guess, I'm gonna guess it's the chair.
He ate a chair?
Yeah, we put a chair out there for him to sit in because it was like an old chair we don't use no more. Now that thing is just springs and wood now. All the foam in it has been gone, and I have no idea where it's at because it's not in the backyard. So my guess is he ate it.
Dang.
Yeah, that dog's got an iron gut.
Seems like. All right, so after lunch, are you continuing to travel some more, and for how long?
We'll have traveled for a total of 8 hours. I don't think we need to do any other stops except for the lunch.
Okay.
If we go more than 8 hours, it's forced march territory, right? We want to stay away from forced march territory.
Yeah, we've got a. I mean, we've got a deadline, but I think we're gonna make it. So.
Yeah, deadline was 5 days. We got 2.5 days travel time, assuming all goes well. So. Go.
Okay. Anything you want to do with the amount of time till nightfall? Prepare for anything, or get anything out of the way, or experiment with stuff, or.
I think the rest of us are just going to attune to our rings so that we can have them ready to go and sort out the watch order.
You become the Planeteers. You've attuned to the globe rings.
My power is heart.
With your powers combined, you can fight the insurrectionists.
Shape of water.
Well, we all know who's got the power of fire. So what's the rest of you?
What are is it the 4 elements and then heart?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I'm gonna say Cuisinart, and that's Yarvik.
And the power of KitchenAid.
Yeah.
Jordan is definitely the heart of the group. If Zippo is the fire.
Or we could say and Dart, and that would be the monk, right?
Hey.
Well, while the group is attuning and taking a break, why don't we take our 10 minutes now, and we'll meet back here 2 of 9, so 8:58.
It's good.
All right. See you soon.
See you guys real soon. Welcome back, everyone. We are back from our break. Thanks for sticking around. So we are currently on the road to J-ain. We stopped for lunch / the day, I guess. So if we were about midway through the square, that means we are probably, we are about midway through the next square. Right? Yeah, something like about here. So just where the road begins to bend more westernly. So at this point, the mountains, the J-ain's Reach, have begun rising out of the horizon. These are fairly substantial mountains as opposed to the mountains of Gideon, which are a bit smaller except for the northern most mountains. These mountains are fairly tall, and you can see them kind of towering ahead of you. Can't quite see J-ain yet, but probably by tomorrow you will be able to see evidence of the city tucked in somewhere. All right, so you guys are going to be resting for the night, I assume?
Yep.
Similar watches?
Yeah, I'm gonna trance the first watch because I'm tired.
Okay. Ulrich will be up for the first watch, awake.
Okay.
Belzian can take the second watch or something.
Okay. So on second watch, those of you who are on second watch, the sky is clearing up, and one of the moons is present in the sky at full. The other is not present in the sky. Otherwise, the night is uneventful. No travelers go by, no evidence of anything bothering the camp.
That's good.
The rumors of this road being safer apparently were true. Despite the presence of bandits that you know of.
We're at least a day ahead of them, if not 2 days ahead.
What if the people we warned about the bandits were bandits themselves?
Then we got a horse up on them at least.
That's true. And we led the prisoner back to them.
Led the prisoner back to them?
Rian.
Yeah, Rian. Because he was a prisoner, and if they were bandits, then we brought him back.
Oh, you mean in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see.
I meant the passerbys from yesterday.
Oh.
That we.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was talking about.
I'm sure they're fine.
So do you does anybody need to prepare spells, or is it everybody has the spells that they have?
We're good. I know none of mine are prepared.
I think every class that we have is spells known.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Just got to double check. All right. So I assume you're traveling again, heading due west toward J-ain.
Yeah. I will say one thing. Ulrich will take a look at that orb, just to see if anything has changed the positioning.
Since there is no reference points in terms of where specific locations are on the map, like marked cities or anything like that, or mountains, it's kind of hard to tell whether they've moved slightly or not, but they seem to be in basically the same areas.
Great.
Can we mark this like with chalk?
You can give it a shot.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to break if I touch it with some chalk, right?
No, it almost looks like it's obsidian or some smooth, dark stone.
Yeah. I'll mark the current locations of all of the dots except ours with chalk. Actually, I'll mark ours with chalk too.
Hey, be careful with
let's
that. We don't know what the warranty on this thing is.
I guess a sleight of hand.
To mark it with chalk?
Just so that it's accurate. I want to see how accurate it is.
I mean, it's chalk. It's not going to be that accurate. Also,
Right,
I rolled a 3, which, +7. So or
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I've got an 11 here.
Yeah.
But
So you're marking basic locations like dotting different
yeah,
towns.
I'm just
Is what I'm getting at.
I'm not trying to get like pinpoint accuracy with this giant wedge of
Right.
chalk that I have.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, to clarify, he's marking exactly where the shining rings are. Not trying to like map out other towns. He's trying to say like, okay, that ring is here, and he's just marking that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. I thought you were like trying to recreate
No,
the map that you
no.
have. Okay.
No, I just want to see where all the
I
dots
follow
are
you
so
now.
that we could tell.
Then don't worry about that sleight of hand. But you see where I was going with now, like okay.
Now the thing that you're asking makes more sense.
Okay.
It's like I'm just putting like 4 dots on the map.
Yeah. You also know that there's a 5th dot now, which is a really, really, really bright white dot that is getting very close to the small dot. Think of it like Pac-Man versus like one of the little pellets. It threatens to consume it at a not too distant future. You assume by tomorrow, if you check it, they might overlap.
We will absorb their powers by eating them.
You might be able to walk sausage.
All right.
Again, so.
So you ride west for most of the morning. Continuing west, about 11 o'clock or so, you come across an odd scene. You recall the travelers that warned you of something digging up areas around the road, correct? From yesterday?
Yep.
So you see evidence of this. It seems like something has been digging some sort of geometric pattern that has overlapped the road. From where you are, you can only see it stretching out ahead of you, so it's kind of hard to discern the shape. But it seems to be some sort of large, straight-lined symbol or drawing or something.
And
So it crosses the road several times in like a pattern, like almost like the pattern is following itself. You know how like if I drew like a line and then I looped around the line and then followed the line around and it just kept getting bigger in a bigger shape? It kind of is resemblant of that.
Does it look like we could reasonably go around it?
Oh yeah, you could just walk right over it, but the carriage you're gonna need to go around.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Does it look like we can reasonably go around it?
You'd have to go around. It kind of juts across the road several times. You can either go to the right and around the big shape, which it seems to be more on the right-hand side of the road than the left. The left, it goes on for several hundred feet in the other direction as well. These all seem fairly new as well. It looks like it started just intersecting the road but not damaging it. These seem to be newer, fresher, and have undermined the road some.
Only
Well-
a shape earth.
I mean, this isn't 3rd edition, but I would posit in 3.5 that Stone Shape is one of the best 3rd level spells for exactly this reason.
That's very good.
Shall we go around, or do you want to walk over whatever this obvious trap is?
I mean,
We got the carts. Gonna have to go around.
Yeah, so it's almost like it's a trench. It's like 3 feet down. It's a 3 foot
Oh,
drop. So
shit.
like Zippo would fall into it and be lost. You know what I mean? Like he'd need a boost out again. Like you can jump over it and walk over it fine. It's like it takes up a 5-foot area and then 3 feet deep.
Can we see into it?
Is it just
Yeah.
full of rainwater? Like, what is this? Can we investigate this further?
Sure. Give me a knowledge nature check.
Yarvik, you're our expert here.
I'm looking for it.
I got a 15 though.
I got an 11. One of us is more naturey than the rest.
Yarvik is the expert.
Garvik peers over the edge of the cart, contemplating.
What kind of duck did this?
A large, angry one. I hate
No,
swans.
it's ground duck.
So it's almost as if something burrowed through the solid rock foundation of the road and the dirt with ease. It looks purposeful, but you're not sure why, and you can't think of a creature that would, do this. The only thing that it reminds you of, and this is only because of the similar pattern, is like, with anthills, how like ants have similar, but the tunnel size is usually about the same size throughout, except for like little chambers. That's the only thing it reminds you of, but that's only because an ant farm, like if you cut a sliver of an anthill, you'd see that. But obviously, that's not really as common in D&D.
Ants are just born from the earth. They come out of holes in the ground. That's all I know about them.
I wondered where they came from.
Yarvik had an old friend up in the mountains named Bert Gummer that used to tangle with these things that tubered under the ground. He had a lot of great weapons for dealing with them.
Yeah, usually creatures that are able to make this type of mark in the ground dig into the earth, not along the earth. So you're not sure what or why this is like this.
I just provide that, I'm aware of creatures that dig under the ground, but I've never seen them dig above the ground or on the surface, and not in any kind of weird, perfectly formed geometric pattern.
Sounds like a trap.
Do we want to try to trick the trap to see what it is? And then fight whoever made the trap so we protect other people? Or do we want to just leave it here and laugh at the next people that fall for it? Because I'm down for both options.
We could wait to see what other people do. This is a relatively well-traveled road.
I think we should try to go around.
Okay.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to fix the problem, we got a kind of a timeline here.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, if we didn't have a deadline, I'd be happy to sit here and try to fix it.
Maybe we'll come back later.
Alright.
Zippo, if the kingdom lasts longer then Brunhild will live longer.
That's true. That is true. I mean,
The king likes dogs and the rebels hate dogs.
as long as the king likes dogs, I'm okay with him.
Perfect.
Dogs and fire.
Hot dogs, if you will.
remind me, because I heard Zippo, you mentioned something about Shape Earth.
If I had Shaper, well, did they say water was in the hole?
I mean, just a little bit. Like, it's just damp down
Oh,
there.
dang, never mind. I was gonna say, if there's enough water, I could shape water and make it like an ice thing, and we could run across it.
But that does make me pose the question: Who did the scrolls go to that we looted from the Goblin Mines?
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
Jordan probably has them. Jordan has
Yeah.
them both.
I think Jordan has them all right now. I don't think I took any off of them.
Because I believe one of them was a Shape Earth.
Old Earth or something. Do the notes.
Two Rogers notes.
Oh Christ! Not my notes.
I mean, I do make summaries for a reason.
That is also true.
The scrolls was a mold Earth
Soul
cantrip.
Scroll, yeah, Mold Earth, that's right.
And twins are usually considered bad luck.
It does not say specifically who they went to, but
Mold, Earth, Light, and Charmers.
Jordan identifies
I think-
them. Yeah.
I think I got Charm Person.
Yeah, actually, I think I had the Molder spell or scroll. I didn't put it in my thing. That's my bad. And then we gave the other two to Jordan, so he can use.
Yeah, we
them.
gave light to Jordan, definitely.
Yeah, actually,
Jordan already has light. Yarvik got
Oh,
light
gotcha.
and it does,
because he can't see in the dark.
I do see a post here, Atomic says, I think I got the scrolls, not too sure though, and no one is disputing that.
All right, cool.
Very
It's
cool.
decided.
If I have it and we want to, I'll pop the scroll out. I'm not against it. I can see what Molder does though. I don't have that.
So Mold Earth, if you are going to be using that, that's not what it does. It's a 5-foot cube. So that would take care of one of the 3 overlaps.
Right.
And it will only last an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say we just save that and go around. Because it shouldn't take us that long to go around.
It's just a couple 100 feet.
Yeah.
It's like even in the worst weather, that's no more than like 30 minutes.
Okay. While you're going around to the, did we say you're going around to the south or the north?
The one that's shorter. I think you said the north was shorter.
Okay.
The fast way.
South is shorter than the left.
Okay, south it is.
All right. Are you doing anything as you're heading south?
Watching the ground.
Specifically where?
Ahead of us and behind us, but mostly ahead of us.
Okay. Give me, since you're actively looking, I'll take perception checks instead of passive.
All right.
Those of you who are
19.
Roger, to the north side of the road as you're stretching south, you see a sort of the it almost looks like a copper carapace, like maybe about a foot of it pointing out in like a rounded section, moving along and creating more of this path up to the north. So you can't see the creature itself, but you can see like the back of it as it's digging.
Zippo, is that a dragon?
No, they would never dig in the earth. They can fly. That's an insult, honestly.
Zippo, you dig in the earth all the time.
Well, I'm not a dragon.
Can't argue with that logic, I guess.
Not yet,
It
anyway.
seems to be burrowing at about 20 feet every 6 seconds. So a little bit slower than you can move.
Perfect.
Let's catch up to it.
Let's go the other way really fast.
Little guy's just zooming. Look at him go.
Frankly, he can do what he wants over there. I don't see any reason to get involved in this. Maybe it'll slow the bandits down if they're taking the road.
Yeah, because the bandits are gonna ride here on the road.
Yeah, no way am I making the road easier for the bandits to use. But let's go.
Okay. Just get to J-ain, I guess.
All right, you go around the pattern, and are you going to follow it directly back to the road to the other side of the pattern, or are you going to be kind of arcing back to the road?
Back to the road?
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like,
you're not returning directly to where you saw. You're kind of
Yeah.
petering back in. It's important because, you know, if something's along that tunnel, you know,
Give it a wide berth.
I want to know whether you're right. Exactly.
Extreme. Since you asked, extra paranoia.
Well, yeah, fair, but it could also be because there might be something, you know, along the path that you peter off too, you know. So who knows?
Like I said, since you asked, extra paranoia.
Right. So you know what? I don't think I'm going to have anybody roll a dexterity check for this because it's really the cart that's doing this.
Does the card have a character sheet? We can do this.
All right. So as you're driving along and arcing back toward the road, you feel, those of you who are riding in the cart feel a shudder as the cart rolls over a portion of land and some of it falls away behind the cart as the cart continues moving. And you see a newly formed 5-foot trench similar to what you've seen, but must have been a little deeper underground and got but it wasn't enough to like support the earth with the weight of the cart. So presumably there's more to this pattern than you can see.
That gave it a wide berth. I don't want to stop. Who says we should keep going?
I mean, yeah, I'd say we speed up if anything.
Maybe we should go faster. Yeah.
I'll also give you a little image of what you saw peeking out in the chat. If I can. Oh, come on. Why isn't it letting me post? Can I only post shared images, like actual files? I guess I have to make it an actual file.
If it's in the D&D Beyond, you could do the display in VTT.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that
Fair.
necessarily. I've got something. Oh, still not. I'll post it in the Discord real quick. All right. That's what you saw. Anyway, continuing on. So you continue heading west toward J-ain. I'm assuming you're traveling again for 24 miles. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Should get us
Okay.
close to it.
So 24 miles is not going to get you to the city today, but you'll be fairly close. You can see in the distance the city rising ahead of you, as well as the mountains. The city is substantial. It's tucked between two ridges, and it's tiered. It's very, very small. Like, you can fit it all in your thumb as you're like looking at the horizon. But I mean, you could do that really with anything, right? If you've got your thumb close enough to your eye. So that's not really much information to give you. But you're close enough that you can kind of see the whole plain around you, and you can see ruins across the fields. There was quite a bit of battling that happened in the plains around J-ain during the war. Obviously, none of it is like recent stuff, but there is evidence of fortifications and filled in trenches and things of that nature. Different trenches than the trenches that you just encountered, which were obviously very recent, but like just evidence of wars from years past that are in this field. Many people died in this area once upon a time.
This land
Yep.
has history.
I definitely killed some of those people. That one over there, that one was.
They're not still here, are they?
You didn't burn down the places they were in? What's wrong with you?
We needed the places they were in for strategic reasons.
Why have strategy when you can just trap people in a building and burn them?
The part where you trap them in the building is strategy, Zippo.
Oh. I learned so much.
All right. So I assume you're eating and resting, or are you pushing on and arriving in J-ain before nightfall?
Just to make sure, how long before day 5?
That's tomorrow. You'd still have a day left. Today's the 13th. So if you arrive tomorrow morning, which you would, it's about half a day's ride from here. So like 4 hours ride.
Okay. So
it would be around late morning of the 14th when you'd arrive in J-ain.
Cool. Yeah, I'm fine with camping personally.
That's fine with me. I'll just be laying on Bird Hill like I normally do.
While you guys are eating, you see a contingent of 12 men on horseback ride past without stopping or acknowledging you as they go down the King's Road. They are in King's armor, as in Kingsguard armor. So it seems to be a patrol of some sort.
The patrol isn't stopping to acknowledge anyone along the way.
Nope,
They're
not you at least.
well, they're gonna run straight into a bunch of shit in the road.
Well, that's what they're coming for, to stop that. I'm sure we're not the first people to run into it.
Hey, maybe we had to take care of the problem.
Yeah.
Look pretty confident.
I trust them. They seem extremely competent and, more importantly, confident in their own abilities.
Yeah, and if they're not, that's free loot when we double back around.
Well, maybe.
That's true. Someone else could stop and take it. But I mean, they wouldn't be the King's Guard if they weren't competent, so. But again, I've never been to this town or met the king, so I don't know.
All fair points. All right. So you rest. The night is uneventful, and you wake up refreshed and ready to go to the capital. At this point, despite encountering a creature a half day's ride from here, the watch was all but a formality as you're close to the capital. If you're not safe here, you're not safe anywhere. Now, that's a very relative thing to say, previous experiences aside, but that's the general attitude about this region of Seregen. This is supposed to be the heartland, right? This is the safest part of the kingdom. So, whatever the case may be, you pack up and ride west and actually arrive at the city ahead of schedule. The day is bright. The sun is high in the sky when you arrive. The mountains towering above you and the city sprawling upward into the cliffs of Jane's Reach. The city has a wall that wraps around the entire base of the city. And as we know, J-ain is the capital of Seregen. It's named after the ruling family. So Gareth J-ain is the king. It's built into the eastern edge of Jane's Reach and is set into 7 man-made plateaus. So I'm going to bring up the map of what it looks like. And theoretically, it won't cause anybody's computer to hyperventilate.
Fingers crossed.
So welcome to the city of J-ain.
Yeah, that looks like the city.
I'm assuming we can't bring our wagon in.
The gates are fairly large.
Okay.
You'll be able to bring your wagon in. The stairs are ramped in the centers, so with slats to catch
Wagon
things
wheels.
from completely rolling down. So as I was saying, it's set into 7 man-made plateaus. Each tier is a unique city district connected together by steps and ramps to the one above and below it. Due to its location, J-ain is heavily fortified by the natural terrain around it, as well as towers, walls, and defensive war machines located in Foran's district. With its vantage point, it's easy to see advancing armies. King Gareth securing and holding J-ain throughout the war certainly gave him quite the advantage during the War of the Three Brothers. The 7 districts from lowest to highest are the Lows, Foran's district, Copper district, Silver district, Gold district, the Clouds, and the Palace. The higher the district, the higher the class, both literally and figuratively. The cramped, tight streets and the small buildings of the lows are a direct contrast to the wide plazas and large mansions of the clouds. Some well-known locations within J-ain are the Great Cathedral of the 12, or also known as the Clockwork Cathedral, Breakwater, the kingdom's high-security prison, and the Royal Library located in the palace. You'll also note that, so I'll point out where the cathedral is on the map. That's on the Gold District, on the left-hand side of the main staircase. And on the right-hand side, there's an amphitheater. You can see that there's many fountains, and the ballista that I mentioned are along the second tier of the wall. So basically think of each plateau as a walled fortification with towers on either end, and the cliffs kind of wrap around the city, as you can see here in the illustration. The palace is not marked as it is. I have just the main palace square at the top because you don't really have the ability to see the entirety of the complex of the palace, so I just made a basic shape.
I assume some of it's probably set into the mountain.
Correct.
Yeah, let's enter the city.
Woot woot.
All right. Like many towns that you've entered, the city is guarded by several city guard who ask for identification, and you each are required to give your papers to check into the city. You see that there is actually a door. There are actually two doors. This entryway is actually two doors wide, and there's an exit door and an entry door. So the flow of traffic going in and the flow of traffic going out are uninterrupted from each other. There are guards checking people out as well. It seems like this is the only way in and out of the city.
No, I'll ask the guards if they've seen a man wearing dark clothing with bright orange hair.
What's it to you? Says the god.
Hey,
He's trying to overthrow the throne, and we intend to stop him.
Are you trying to be convincing about this, or you're just kind of saying it nonchalant?
I'm just gonna say it.
Okay.
Roger's not convincing.
Information about people going in and out, you're gonna have to talk to the gods at the barracks. I only do intake. I'm not required to talk to you about such things. And he's like, let's keep it moving along.
We must not be the droids he's looking for.
Hey, we got all the information we needed.
yeah.
So they check in you. They mark that you're coming in with a carriage and 3 horses, a dog, and then they annotate your names and races.
3 horses, a dog, and a kobold.
The kobold should be the one on the leash, honestly.
He's got his hands over the back of the cart, and he's just kind of peeking his it's just the nose above the edge, just kind of taking it all.
Yeah, Yarvik, so I will say this is probably the largest amount of people you've ever seen, as people are trickling in and out. You actually kind of had to wait in a brief line to get in, as more people are traveling in and out at this point. Once you get into the city, it's loud, it's noisy. There's people shouting wares and things on the lows. The streets are very crowded down here. It's a high population area. The fountains that are running are not as well kept as they could be. To the left and the right, you can see over the tops of heads and things like that.
Out of curiosity,
Mhm.
how well kept were they before the war?
That's a good question. The question is, would you have visited Jane prior to the war happening?
I would imagine at least a couple of times.
Okay.
I mean, the war was only 3 years, right?
I believe it was 4 years long.
Okay, but still, Ulrich is like 30.
It was 3 years ago.
Right.
But
So
4 years long.
yeah, he's not exactly a young guy. He's like 30 something.
Right. Yeah. The lows are more crowded than they used to be. So with crowding comes a general decline if people aren't actively upkeeping. So you're not sure whether to attribute that to the current ruler or the amount of people that are there.
Okay.
This is by far the busiest place that Belzian has ever been to, so he's just completely dumbfounded.
Yeah, same, honestly. I don't think Zippo's been in the city this full either.
Shall we split up?
Let's go to the magic shop and the pet areas and all the animals. Yes, yes, yes.
You guys and you're splitting up.
We're in a city and we have rings of communication.
Yep.
We're in what's supposed to be the safest city in the country.
Yep.
I guess Ulrich and I will go to the barracks with whoever wants to inquire about the things that we're inquiring about.
Ulrich he's a bit overwhelmed, so he'll just stick with you guys and go to the barracks. He's gonna take him some time to get comfortable.
Zippo's gonna hop on Brunhild and then see who wants to look at magic shops with him.
Okay,
If nobody, he will go alone.
I'll go with Zippo to keep an eye on him.
It's probably a safe choice.
There we go.
Festive town music. I feel like I'm in a city.
It just feels like Renfest, but scaled up.
Is Jordan going with Zippo and Belzy and I assume?
Jordan breaks off on his own, and seems to have purpose in where he's going.
Where are you going, Jordan?
Let us know where we can meet you.
Oh, I've got friends in the city. I'll be back.
All right then, keep your secrets.
I'm shocked he has more friends than me.
He waves his instrument and he says, "I need a tune-up."
Fair.
What a cool guy. I like that guy.
He is pretty cool.
And he's like, "Don't worry." And he flashes his ring. He's like, "I'll find you."
Yeah, remember not to flash that too much.
Woo! Magic shop and bestiaries.
All right. So we've got Ulrich and Roger going to the barracks with Yarvik. Okay. And then Zippo is going to the bestiary
And the magic.
or trying to find
Menagerie?
Okay, so you're trying to find a place where there might be animals and or a place where there might be magical
Yeah, I like both options. Zippo is a very
Okay.
very excited for shiny things or pettable / personable full animals.
Sounds good. I'm fine with whichever group wants to go first. You want to rock, paper, scissors?
I'm going to say, just personally, thinking about this from a narrative perspective, depending on how long this all takes, there's probably more of a cliffhanger on our thing, and that seems like a better bookend. And I'm kind of eager to see what mayhem Zippo causes.
Okay, fair enough.
That's personally
So,
me.
Zippo and Belzian. I'll take whatever suggestion you guys throw at me, so I'm fine with that. So Zippo and Belzian are looking for a place to spend the money that's burning holes in their pockets, whether it be through mischief, mayhem, or magic. All right, so what district are you going to look for these things?
I'm going to.
I assume, Ulrich, you're going to give a brief description as to where things might be in the city?
Yeah, Ulrich would have told them a bit, and specifically not said a single thing about the silver, cloud, gold, and cloud districts.
Okay.
Would have really talked up
he's-
the copper and lows.
Yeah. Okay. So he tells you that Foreign's district is kind of like a lot more warehouse and industrial and also military based. So there's not as much stuff in those areas for shopping. The copper and the lows being that they have lots of residential and population. There's also lots of shops and things like that. He suggests that any animals would probably be kept on the lowest district and not up higher, mainly because, you know, you'd have to get those animals to go up a lot of steps, right? So
Fair.
They could go up the ramps.
That's true. Also,
yeah.
Continue.
okay. Does he suggest that the magics might be around the animals or farther away?
Oh, there's several magic shops in the city. He's just not sure where they
Gotcha.
are.
So we'll go to like the closest guard that looks friendly enough to answer questions for newbies, and I walk up to whenever we find them, and if we find them, do we find them? I just assume they're probably okay.
Yeah, there's guards everywhere. They're mainly located at like intersections and like along the steps and things like that. And before I forget, and I forgot to loop that, so let me just do that. Yarvik, could you roll a not an insight, perception check, please? Okay, and Ulrich and Roger, could you as well? Okay.
We ain't found shit.
Ulrich and Roger, you both noticed that Yarvik's hat has both changed color. No, it's just changed color, yeah. So it used to be... Yarvik, what color was your hat again?
I think it was purple.
Yeah, it's now pink.
That's definitely something maybe we'll talk about on our way to the barracks.
Yep. Anyway.
When we find the guard, I'll go to him like, "Hey, sir, I need to find 2 places. One with magic stuff, preferably items. Anything not named magic will do. Because I hate that guy that owns that shop. All of them, every one of them. Second, animals of like the purchasing or petting kind. I don't care which way. Preferably purchasing, but I can do petting too.
Well, there's there's a traveling circus that is outside of the city that has many rare and exotic animals, but they're probably not for sale. But you might be able to see some wondrous creatures there. And, Magic's magic has been run out of town. There's a few magic shop owners in the town that, they don't look kindly at him. So, if you're looking, there's a magic shop somewhere around here. He's occasionally in the Lowe's. The shop's name is Carl's with a K.
Okay.
And he points down this direction. So like off toward the so that's the south, because we're on the eastern edge, right? So just turn everything on its 90 degrees to the left, basically. So left side of the city. Let's say that.
Okay, then I will just head towards Carl's.
Carl's, hey, let's go.
Okay. All right. So you follow his directions and kind of meander through the crowded city. So the shop that he directed you to is located right here. And as you approach, you see that there is a building here, and there's a building here, but there's an empty plot in between the two of them.
What do you think? Invisible building?
That sounds the most reasonable explanation to me. I'll go up to the empty plot.
Okay.
I'll feel around.
Check for the invisible door.
Your hand goes right through the area. It doesn't seem anything's blocking your hand.
Invisible and untouchable building. That's crazy.
How magical.
Right? And then I'll just be like, is this Carl's? I'll say it pretty loudly.
Carl!
Carl with the K, can you open the door, please?
Carl!
Somebody mentions that he must be out right now. They say that it's occasionally Carl's.
Dang.
Not occasionally Carl's was just the name of the store.
Yeah, I just, dang it. Dagnabbit, do you know when he might be back in?
He doesn't really keep a schedule. He's sometimes here and sometimes he isn't. I don't know what to tell you.
Crap.
But we can always write him a note. This is the polite and proper thing to do.
I'm sad. I don't want to leave the city, because I don't know if I can get back in without Roger and them. Because that circus did sound pretty cool.
Well, there's the two buildings, the one on the left and the one on the right. Are they also magic shops or just neighbors?
That's a good question. I'll knock on both those doors.
So the left one is a residence. A mother answers the door. She's holding a child in her arms. She's a halfling. And she asks what you would like.
Oh, sorry. I assumed since you were next to occasionally Carl's, you might also be a magic shop. So I was just knocking on doors till I found somebody that was one.
There is a chance that this baby could be Carl.
That's true. Is your baby's name Carl with a K?
She just looks at you stupidly, I mean as if you're stupid. Alexa, stop. And says, no, have a nice day. And she shuts the door again.
Okay, I go to the right building then.
That must have been Carl with a C.
Yeah, had to be. Or Carl with an I instead of a Y.
Nobody answers the door on the right-hand side.
Well, I guess there's only two things we can do. We can wait, or we can just wander around the rest of the city.
There might be another magic shop. I don't know
That's
if we
true.
have an extraordinary amount of time considering what is at hand here.
That's true. I guess we could just wander around the city then, see if we find anything interesting,
I've taken the
like
liberty to
magical
write
shops.
occasionally Carl a note on your behalf. It says, "Dear occasionally Carl, Zippo is now sad. Signed, Zippo."
Thank you.
And just leave it in the empty plot.
Okay.
Then I guess we'll go. I did hear Ulrich saying that the gold or the cloud district was a district to walk around in.
I don't remember hearing him say that.
I specifically remember it.
Oh, okay. Well, your memory could be better than mine. You do remember all those magic things. So.
That is true. Let's just actually, you know what? Let's just keep walking till somebody stops us. So let's just go up the steps.
Okay. So are you taking the main steps or some of the side
We'll
steps?
take the main steps. We'll be cool kids.
Right down the middle.
Okay.
Directly in the middle of all the
So-
steps too. Yeah.
You go back to the main area and head up. Foreign's district is not as crowded, but there seems to be a lot of action and things going on. The fountains to the left and right are huge. They're larger than some of the many of the buildings that you encountered down on the first level. You also see tower raised above you to either side when you reach the top of the steps. Some deadly-looking ballista pointed toward the town.
I bet it
hall
would be a
on City
blast
Hall.
to get shot out of one of those.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe one day we'll try.
You also see that there are trees on this level, which you didn't see any evidence of, except for at the very the very base of the main staircase. And you continue up to the Copper District, which seems to be a lot more residential heavy, with shops. Occasionally, there's markets and things like that as well.
At the beginning of each steps, I will also ask the guards, any magic shops on this thing that's not occasionally Carl's?
Foreign's mentions that there's a magic shop. He's like, I think it's Carl's. I think there's a Carl's on this level. And he points over toward this direction.
Looks like we're checking every Carl's to see if Carl's there then. Let's go that direction.
Okay, he points you specifically to this building here. And sure enough, as you approach, you see in bright shining neon lit letters, Carl's, and then in parentheses underneath of it, occasionally.
All right, I'm gonna rush to that door before it disappears.
Okay.
I'm gonna open it slightly. You allow dogs, Carl?
Of course! Come on in!
Yeah! And I open the door and ride in on Brewhill.
Alright, Zippo disappears through the door. Belzian, do you follow?
Yeah, I'll come in and I got your back, Zippo.
Okay.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Alright.
1 second.
So
man.
you enter the shop, and the shop could not look any more different than Magic's Magic. Well, Magic's Magic was filled to the brim with magic items that the gnome didn't know what they did or what to do with. Everything is quite methodically ordered. There are things hanging on the walls. There are tables with some items and things like that. He does have a little bit more disorganization around him at his workshop desk looking thing. It seems like he is an active crafter of magical items, maybe. Carl himself is a wiry looking old man with a bushy yellowed gray beard and hair sticking out from under a simple leather cap with goggles on top.
The stuff laying out, does it have prices in front of it?
Some things have prices, some do not.
What are the prices looking like?
They are mainly in the thousands, but some are in the hundreds. It really depends on what you're looking for.
I will stay within my price range and look at most of the items I can find that are below 700 gold.
Okay. You see that there are plenty of scrolls that are carefully ordered in almost like an IKEA cube shelf, where they're like kind of organized by type and by level. The higher they are, the more expensive they are. You see some spell scrolls of 3rd level are 200. You see a robe marked as Robe of Useful Items that's 750 gold. You see that there are also potions and things like that. Behind Carl, you see that there are barrels of items that he seem to be either discarded items or items that are more haphazardly placed as opposed to the ones that are intricately set out.
Okay. Well, I'll ask Carl about those ones. Like, are those just junk items back there, or are those like stuff you don't feel like selling at the moment?
Well, some of them are some of my failed experiments. They're semi-reliable. Some of them have charges that aren't full. It really depends on what you're looking for, my son. Now, what can I help you with?
Okay, so
He has a sparkle in his eye.
ideally, I'm looking for a couple things that hopefully I can find cheap enough. If not, I have to save up money, obviously. So I'd like to find a cool cloak that can give me some awesome benefits. I'd like to find something possibly to do with like, I don't know, honestly, man. I just like items and magic. I like magic shops. I was at one called Magic's Magic. That place sucks, by the way.
Agreed.
Yeah, that man was overpriced and wouldn't sell anything. It sucks. Anyway.
My boy, I like your style. And he flashes his hand and he gives you a voucher that's 250 gold off of any item above 500 gold.
Sweet. Nice. Okay. Then I'll look for. I'll ask for like rough estimates. I'll ask him how much a bag of holding and a cloak of protection cost.
All right, let me look for that for you. So you're looking for a cloak of protection and a bag of holding. And while I'm looking for that, I'm also going to let my cat out. Cloak of protection. A rough estimate for cloak of protection is 4,000 gold.
Okay.
So definitely a
Save up monies.
save up. Yeah.
Or fine, you never know.
Bag.
Oh, Zippo, this might help. Belzian,
Bag of holdings 5,000.
you have expensive taste.
You know, I like to look around. Okay, with this new voucher, that means my total amount, because that takes, you said 250 off? So that puts me at 1,060 gold total that Zippo has. So I will look at the 1,000 cost gold items as well. Although, how much did you say the robe of useful items was? 1,000? Okay, so that's
What is
right.
the robe of?
Oh no, 750.
750? Ooh.
Yeah. So that's only 500 for you.
Yeah.
There's a Wand of Secrets for 1,000.
Ooh.
There's a single arrow of slaying, it's called. It doesn't say what it slays, but it's 750.
Okay.
When he sees you eyeing that, he says, I can make that slay whatever you want. It's not... I can dabble with it. Just give me a little time. But it's only one and it'll only work once, so...
Yeah, I'm not good with
keep
bows.
that in mind. What are you good at? What are you looking for?
I use magic. Yeah.
Yes. You see a necklace of adaptation for 1,000. There's several different ion stones present, some of which are 1,000. There's a sustenance and a protection one. Yeah, if you're looking for protection, it seems like the Cloak of Protection might be a little over your budget at the moment, judging from the sad look on your face when you looked at it. But Ion Stone of Protection's only 1,000.
I can't have two necklaces attuned at the same time, can I? No. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't see why not, as long as you've got so you've got 2 attunements right now, correct?
Yep, I have one spot open left.
Yeah, so it kind of, I believe, yeah, you've got 2 rings, 2 chains.
Okay. The robe of useful items. It says in addition, the robe has 4d4, and you have to roll it, I guess, other patches. The DM chooses the patches or determines them randomly. So do you want to choose those before I buy or after? I'm okay with either, if I buy it.
We can, which would you prefer? You're buying it.
Well, since I'm assuming I could look at since it's out open where I can look at it, I would like to know what's on it before I bought it, in case it's not as useful as I'm hoping it is.
Okay, roll 4d4.
Oh, 7.
So it has 7 other patches.
Do you want me to roll 7d100 to see what those patches are?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, actually, no. So he tells you that there's 7 other patches, but what's in those patches are for the buyer to find out. Think of it like a mystery.
Ooh. I'll go with the robe of useful items then.
Okay. So he takes the robe and flourishes it, and lays it out, and then like measures you up and down, makes a few, like it's almost like he's casting. You can see his mouth moving, but he's writing in the air, and you can't see anything being written.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lays the robe out on his desk and motions like this. And the robe begins to shrink until it looks to be more your size, and then he like gives you a questioning glance, and then goes and it winds it back up a little bit, and then he flourishes it back and hands it to you.
Right.
Says that will be with the voucher 750. My
I will
friend.
give him 750 gold pieces.
He sweeps them into, he opens a drawer and sweeps the lot of gold into them, and he says, well, thank you for your business, and thank you for shopping at Carl's.
Thank you, sir.
And he eyes Belzian and expectantly says, and what can I help you with, my fine monk?
Oh, no, I'm mostly just browsing, but I will take something from your miscellaneous bin.
So 50 gold for your selection of whatever I put my hand through when I dip my hand into the bucket.
Marvelous. Oh, might I add, Magic's magic sucks.
I see he's catching on. Yes. Fine. Any friend of and what did you say your name was?
I'm
Sorry.
Zippo.
Any friend of Zippo is a friend of Carl, and he actually gives you the same voucher that Zippo just gave him. It's like recycling, you know.
Good for the environment, yes.
Unfortunately, that won't work for the barrel. It's for 500 purchases of 500 gold or more.
Fair. I'll grab some swag from the barrel and pay 50 gold pieces.
Okay, so he puts on a special leather glove and thrusts his hand into the barrel. And when he comes out, there's 5 daggers sticking out of his glove. And he holds out his hand and says, pick one. Each dagger is a different color. One is a burgundy color. One is bright purple. One is polka dotted, both red and orange. And the other 2 are a deep blue.
Red and orange polka dot, for sure.
Okay. You now have a red and orange polka dotted dagger.
So it's like a gotcha game. Oh, I want in on that.
Wow.
Zippo will be like, make me next, please.
This had impact on me.
I would like to get a random item out of the barrel.
Didn't you spend all of your money?
So
No, not yet. I'm about to.
he asks whether you'd like a new pick or to pick from the hand that he already has.
New pick, please.
He takes the whole glove off and drops it into the bin and puts a new glove on and thrusts it into the barrel. And out comes 2 daggers, a ball that just clings to his glove, and a bird that is pecking at his glove.
I'm picking the bird.
The bird is mechanical. It seems to be alive despite it being a machine.
I will pick up the bird.
Okay. You now have a mechanical bird. It has he fishes in his pocket and pulls out some sort of key. And I don't mean like a key like a door key, like a knob, like a one of those wind-up keys.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You'll need this."
This has been a very great trip for Zippo. All right. Okay. So do you want me to roll the 7 D100 to see what I get for the useful items?
We can do that later.
Gotcha. I'm excited to see what those are. The options are very good.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, I'm broke now. Thank you, though.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, he sags a little bit. He was looking forward to having a little bit more fun with you guys. If you ever want to come back when you have a bit more, these items will be waiting for you. And he kind of gestures.
Thank you.
At his pantry.
Belzian compliments the new robe.
Thank you. I feel accomplished. Now, let's go see if we can sneak ourselves into the Cloud District, because now I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure he told us not to go up there, or didn't mention it, and that makes me want to go look at it more.
Makes sense to me.
Yep. So let's just keep going up.
Okay. One thing I will say is, as you leave Carl's and you give a wistful glance back at the shop has changed and it now says Barrels occasionally with a B.
Oh. I'll open the door. So this is not Carl's anymore?
Welcome to Barrels occasionally. How may I help you?
What do you sell
Welcome.
here, Barl?
He winks and he says, anything you like.
I'm about to come back here when I have gold, Barl. And then I'll walk back out.
See ya, Master Zippo. And he waves you.
I love that dude. That's great.
All right. So as you're heading back to Foreign's main staircase and going up, I'm going to go to the other group.
That's great.
That's fine.
That is perfect.
All right. But now I know your destination, whether we get to it tonight or not. All right. So Ulrich and Roger, Foreign's district is where the barracks is. The military area is over in this section here. All these buildings are military driven, and some of the military housing is directly above it in the Copper District.
Seems logical. Let's head to the barracks.
Very similarly to how you went to Jewel, you go straight to the barracks as soon as you arrive.
Yep.
So this up here is not the barracks.
Sorry,
That's the entry to the
That was
mines
a
and
misclick.
breakwater.
Yeah, just a misclick.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just clarifying and making sure. I mean, there is a wall there, so it's very easy to like think, oh, that could be a barracks, you know.
Yeah.
The barracks is the barracks grounds are actually pretty alive with activity. People are training. It seems like people are actively training to be in the military here. This is not just the city watch. This is the recruitment center for the King's Army. So people would come here to train before going out to different regions. You assume that the upper guards in town watches across the country are part of the King's Guard, and then the lower watch are the City Guard. So like the lieutenant that wasn't in Jewel at all while you were there, it was probably part of the King's Guard, as he was collecting people for the town in other villages nearby. You know from experience that the training is rigorous and lasts months, but once somebody is within the military, it tends to be a career. It's something that people do to pay and get money sent home for their families and things of that nature. You know, as with any military, you know, generally it's populated by the people who need that money, right? So, for better or worse.
Well, we'll find somebody who looks like they know where we want to go and ask them to point us in the direction of someone wanted.
For the captain.
Okay, so you're looking for Marius the captain is what I'm hearing from Ulrich.
Yep.
Okay. Marius is currently overseeing a prisoner transfer from the palace to Breakwater. He should be probably up on the Copper District now. You could either wait here for him. He should be here later on in the day, or you can... I wouldn't recommend interrupting him while he's doing the prisoner transfer in case, you know, you're distracting him from, you know, doing his work. But I'm sure he'd be willing to talk to you when the time comes.
Alright, do you know roughly how long that's gonna be?
Well, you know, these things take time, but it shouldn't be more than a few hours at most. He left probably what was it? Maybe a couple hours ago. What? Yeah, the prisoner that they're sending to Breakwater. Yeah, a couple hours ago, I think.
It's gonna take him about 5 hours to oversee a prisoner transfer.
Well, you know how it is. Sometimes, transfers take a while. They got to get the guard ready. They got to, make sure that there's nobody in the path of travel that might, interrupt. I've been saying they should just make a tunnel directly from the castle to the breakwater prison, and then they don't have to worry about going through the city. But, all this talk about having, your worst criminals connected to the capital. Castle, it makes sense to me, but yeah.
Well, fair enough. I'm sure we can find something productive to do while we wait.
Okay.
When we came into the city, one of the guards checking papers mentioned we should come here if we wanted to find out about other people that had come in recently.
Oh, you're looking for a friend, are you?
Not
Nope.
exactly.
He kind of looks between the two of you, since you gave different answers. Like, well, which is it?
I mean, it's a no. Not looking for a friend. We're looking for a suspect.
So you're with the guard then?
Yeah, I'm a former military myself, and Ulrich and I are something of detectives for the king these days.
I would say both of you have identifying
Papers.
symbols that show that you're eligible to look at such things.
Okay.
It's not going to do a lot for you in the greater scheme of things, but it's going to allow you to look at some papers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
We'll present our identifying paperwork.
I'm ultimately just trying not to set a precedent.
Yep.
That's all. It's like, well, I can show you to the clerk of I'm blanking on the word right now. The clerk of keeping of the city and whatnot. The records of there we go. The records clerk. And he can see what he can do for you. Do you know how long ago this man came through? Man, woman, person?
It's a man in probably dark clothing with bright orange hair.
That narrows it down. He says, here, he didn't sound serious about that, by the way, in case there was any mistake. And he takes you to the long building right here, adjacent to the stairs. And he says, in there, that's the records building. There should be plenty in there that you can look through. Inside, you see that there's a clerk organizing some papers from a crate that has been set on his desk. He seems to be organizing them with some disdain for the way they've been handled. He just keeps muttering to himself frustratedly as he's basically taking stacks of papers and like sorting them into different sheets. He doesn't acknowledge you, even though the door jingles on the way in.
Well, we'll not disturb him. No, of course we're gonna ask him.
Yeah.
Hey, we're wondering if you have any records of someone in particular. The name that we know him under is Shadow, but he would have, if he's come through here, it would have been in the past week or two. And we provide a description as well as we're able.
Yeah.
The last week or two, he looks at you flatly and he says, "Do you know how many people come in and out of the town in 2 weeks?"
Let's narrow it down to the last 6 days.
Yeah, and I mean, with a... let me look at the calendar real quick. So you guys left Jewel. Shadow escaped on the 7th. You are now at J-ain on the 14th.
Yeah.
So you know that he could have gotten to Jewel or to J-ain on horseback from Jewel in much more time than you have, because unless he was going fast, and even then it would probably only be 2 or 3 days ahead of you at most, and that's if he hadn't stopped anywhere.
Let's assume that if he hadn't stopped, because that is the widest search time. So that puts it at 3 days.
Yes. So between the 11th and today. So you're probably not going to be able to talk about today because those papers aren't going to be here yet.
Right.
So between the 11th and the 13th.
Past 3 days is probably probably accurate enough.
Can I see your papers?
Yep.
And you show them. He says, "Oh, okay. Interesting." He doesn't ask you any questions, but he just makes that comment, and he unlocks the door adjacent to his kind of mesh work. It's, you know how in like public, like the post office, how it's like a glass wall with like a speaker. It's like that, only it's a screen and a speaker, so that it's blocking people off from actually. It's like a chain mesh, metal mesh. So he unlocks the door and allows you to come in and leads you to 3 crates that are intricately organized in order of time, and people incoming and out leaving J-ain. There's 11th, 12th, and 13th, and they're separated in the middle by the in and the out.
I mean,
So
Ulrich, you still have the orb, right?
Yeah, I do.
Let's if we check the orb, we can see whether or not we need to look at the outgoing records, and that'll have our search time as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So the orb, you do not see any further dots. You see the 3 dots in Seregen, and then the mega dot that is
Right.
where J-ain is at the moment. Overlaying that mega dot is a small chalk dot.
I take it the other ones haven't moved substantially from their chalk dots either.
No, they haven't.
I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the chalk dot from where we were on the road.
Okay. Yeah, that obviously that one's there, but yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Fair.
Good news. We don't have to check the outgoing records. So
Yeah. That's assuming he has a ring.
I think that's a safe assumption.
Probably, but
If we don't find him in the incoming records and we still have time, we can look at the outgoing records. I think if he's left the city but not entered the city, then we have more time. And I'm okay.
yeah. Alright, well, I'll take this in, you take that in. Work towards the middle.
All right.
Yarvik's with us. He could
So-
check the middle box, I guess. If the records keeper is allowed into the back.
Oh, sorry, Yarvik, you've been so quiet, I didn't think to look behind me.
Jorvik is kind of taking some time in processing this whole thing. So yeah, he kind of shuffles off with the pile of the records and flops down and gets to check.
Okay. So who's taking the 11th, 12th, and 13th?
Okay, so I'll take the 13th.
Yeah,
12th.
I'll take the 11th, and Yarvik's got the 12th.
Okay.
Um, while we're doing this, Ulrich will idly comment and ask about the hat.
Okay.
Just had the hat. It was one day I didn't, and now I did, and then I did. It was a nice hat, so I put it on. Started out as a piece of paper.
Do you remember the story, Yarvik, of how you got the hat?
I remember our discussion that, but I have in my notes that it was granted, but I don't remember how I got the hat.
So you found it on a body that of somebody who had died, and you kind of looted the body of his possessions, and one of them was a folded piece of paper that when you unfolded it, it unfolded into a hat that fit perfectly.
A festive hat.
Yes.
A purple festive hat. So I've always liked it. I don't know, but maybe it's a mood hat.
Alright.
You feeling pink today?
I'm going through a pink phase.
So at this, him asking that and Ulrich asking you about the hat, and you insisting that it's purple, I assume that you're probably going to take it off to look at it and realize that it's not purple anymore.
It's not pink.
You see marked on the hat on one side of the inner part of the hat a symbol that's in a K pattern.
I never really noticed this symbol here. Does this look like anything to you guys? Holds the inside of the hat up.
Neither of us recognize it.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Looks like a K.
Okay. I'll figure this out someday. And he puts the hat back on his head and.
Okay.
Yeah, well, one more mystery to deal with, but as long as you're in a pink mood, let's get this party started.
So who's 11th, who's 12th, and who's 13th?
11.
12.
13.
Okay. So you find that the records are first, last name, and then what animal they come in on, and race, and male or female. It's just literally grouped by times in order, listings of who entered the kingdom. I need each one of you to do an investigation roll.
22.
Okay. So, Jaeger, looking through each name one by one, eventually the names just start blurring together, you know. Each name it's just so many names of so many different families and so many groups of people, and you know, people are coming on horses and elephants and creatures you've never even heard of. I mean, I'm not even sure if you've heard of an elephant before, to be honest, but you know, you kind of eventually just like don't really, since there's no mention of hair and you don't see any name of shadow. It doesn't really, like, there's a few people that came in by themselves on a horse, but nothing really sticks out to you.
My eyes are falling out of my head.
Roger, while you're looking for the 12th, you
I'm
see
looking for the
several... 13th? Okay, so Yarvik was the 12th
Yeah.
then. Okay, my apologies. Same thing applies. I was trying to go 13th, 12th, 11th, but...
Gotcha.
So, you realize quickly while you're searching, while some people do seem to match the type of like a human on a horse traveling alone, again, it doesn't say how they're dressed or what color their hair is, but you realize that if it is indeed Shadow that is wearing the ring that's in J-ain, that ring was present in J-ain on the 11th when you first looked at the globe.
Okay. So I'll
Correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and say, okay, there's no need to look at the 12th and the 13th. So we'll start putting those back in order.
Okay.
And then if Ulrich hasn't finished by the time I realize that, I'll go over and help Ulrich.
Okay. Because you're helping Ulrich, I believe that gives him advantage. Is that's how assisting works, correct? It's an advantage roll?
That's what help is.
Okay, so go ahead and roll at an advantage now, Ulrich.
Help is a type of advantage.
Whew, that's better.
All right. It seems on the 11th there were a lot of groups of people coming in and not so much singular persons. There are only 3 people who traveled into the city as lone persons. 1 in the morning and 2 in the evening of the 11th.
When did we look at the orb?
It was morning.
On the 11th?
Yeah, it was right as soon as we got up in the morning.
Right.
So
you looked at the orb on the morning of the 12th. You left New Pond on the 11th.
Gotcha.
Okay.
The night. So you destroyed the bandit camp on the 11th.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So all
we
right.
still have 3 people for our mystery.
All right. All right. So let's say it's one of these. Clerk, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Are you talking to the clerk?
Yeah.
His name's Clark.
Clark. Yeah, that's what I said. I did not call you by your title. I asked for your name. Anyway, Clark. Do you keep records of where people get off to?
So they, generally speaking, only in times of war do we ask what people's business in the city is. It's a large enough city that it's kind of hard to keep track of everyone. We want to know who comes in and who comes out for census reasons, and also identification purposes. If it's somebody who's wanted, we want to know who's coming in, and they cross-reference before letting you pass.
We have the names of the 3 travelers we're looking for, right?
Yes, you do. And I will provide those to you in a moment.
So I guess we'll go ahead and write down their names and all of the information that's on the record about these 3 people.
Yeah.
The records and put them back very nicely for Clark, who let us get his extremely organized pile of stuff.
All right. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to go do a little bit of hunting.
3 is a much more manageable number than 3,000.
Oh, for sure. But it's also a bit of a needle in a haystack, you know.
Don't tell Zippo that.
Yeah, his response will be to burn the damn thing down.
So all 3 of these individuals came in on a single horse, are male humans.
All right.
We've got Montgomery Daytaker, Kippy New, and Bert Chesk.
J take.
I'll put them in.
Icky new, and what was the last one?
Thank you.
Bert Chesk.
Yeah, I spelled them wrong.
Chas. My intent is to spell them orally here without being poisoned by seeing the accent. So. No, I was kind of close on all of them. All right. Which one came in the morning?
Bert Chesk.
All right. Evening, of course. I think that's all the information we can really glean from these records. Thank you very much, Clark.
Yep.
It's been very helpful.
I appreciate you putting them back in order, and I wish more of the people I work with would be quite so considerate. Come anytime.
Thanks. Guess we'll go and wait for the captain of the guard to get back.
Okay.
How much time has passed?
I would say that took to rifle through that much paperwork. It was probably an hour of work. You can either wait for him or you can go search him out. You can wander the town and come back.
I guess a couple more hours before he got back, right? Okay.
I mean, he could be back any time, or he could be back later that day. He might get caught up with something, or who knows? Maybe the prisoner move didn't go so well.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to check in, and we can also ask the guards when we check in, just for a identification of every inn, somewhere where someone might stay, because Ulrich, has been here, but he's not going to know every single hotel or inn in the place.
Yeah, there's probably about 20 inns in J-ain, maybe even more. There's also places that you can stay, like renting an apartment or renting a house, or things like that, both long and short term. And with your nobility, you might even be able to do more than that. You know what I mean? So it really depends on what you want to do.
Right. I was thinking more from a point of investigation, because if maybe this person has someone to stay with, but maybe they're also staying.
Right. So you might check like the taverns in town and try and find them that way. Yep. Fair enough. All right. I will provide you that list of all 20 taverns by next session. I think that's fair, right?
Of course.
Because I could give you the whole list right now. I did type out a whole bunch in preparation for today, but it's not really, going to matter much when, we're about at the end of the session anyway. Right. So I'll give you that information next time. So I guess, is there anything final you'd like to do before we end session tonight? Like a destination or whatnot that you'd like to go to? Or are you going to stick around waiting for Marius?
Once we get the list, I'm fine with sticking around, personally.
There may be shopping that Roger wants to do, but I will need time to think about that.
And Yarvik?
I'm fine sticking around right now. I think Jorvik's next goal is, now that he's in town. The pink hat has begun to intrigue him a little bit, so he may seek out a magic shop or somebody that could tell him a little more about the hat.
Okay, sounds good.
We can never have enough caltrops.
Wait, so is our next session going to be a huge pub crawl?
Yes.
Yes. Think of all of the different kinds of sausage you could get here.
Oh gosh.
Or even meat that
dude,
isn't ground up.
I'm gonna have to be the sober one, aren't I?
Well, Belzigan doesn't drink alcohol, but
Oh, well, all right. Well, you be the someone. I'm gonna fucking get plowed.
That's why he was driving.
He's our designated driver. Interesting.
The monk is our distant.
So what I think we'll do then is I think we'll end session here with two of our party heading higher and higher up the Capitol steps.
Hoping that he figures out what's on the robes of usefulness.
And actually, you know what? I do have something that I have left up my sleeve for the session tonight. So I'm going to go back to Belzian and Zippo as they've returned to the main steps to Foreign's district to go up the steps, right? As you're passing one of the fountains, make a perception check, both of you.
Like the Foreign's district ones?
Yeah, the big ones.
Natural 20, let's go.
18.
Okay. You notice something is off about this fountain. Yes, water is flowing out of it, but
Mountain is on, but it's also off.
the water is the water isn't moving naturally. Like it's spraying from the top fine, but something about the pool just seems unsettling and strange to you.
I'll go over and look into it.
All right. Give me a knowledge nature.
$21.
There seems to be a form in the water, or maybe to put it a little bit more accurately, the water seems to have a form to it.
Is it like a humanoid looking form, or is it just like just a random shape? Like it's giving off like a
I
creature.
would say it's humanoid. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a small humanoid. Like
Your size.
a little bit smaller than you, yeah.
Okay.
What do you see in there, Zippo?
Something smaller than me, it looks like.
The
Yeah, I know. That's what's shocking.
Should we put you in the fountain and you can say hello?
That might be for the best.
Okay. And I attempt to pick up Zippo and place him in the water.
Okay. Immediately as you get into the fountain, the figure rushes toward you and the water kind of surrounds you, thrusts you up, and places you back on the edge of the fountain. Some of the water creeps up to your ear and you hear a whisper, almost in a dripping sound, that says, "Save me."
Do I feel like it's coming like the primordial speaking Aquan to me, or no?
Yes. It sounds like something that could speak Aquan, but it's speaking in common to you. Do you understand
I speak
Aquan?
primordial, which lets me understand and speak Ignan, Aquan, Aaron, and...
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you hear the Aquan dialect.
Then in Aquan, I'll say back, "How can I save you?"
It urgently says that it needs to be freed. It wants to go home. It's trapped in this fountain.
How can I free you? What do I need to do to the fountain?
It doesn't know.
Doesn't know. Looking at the fountain, now that I know something is trapping this thing here, what do I feel like will get it out? Do I feel like if I destroy the fountain, or
do I have to cast some kind of special spell or?
I guess you're asking for an arcane check, arcana check. Is that what I'm
Yeah,
hearing?
that'll work. Let's hope I roll good, boys. Oh, I did not roll good, boys. Oh, I have inspiration though, so I'm gonna use that.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. Okay, 14.
Okay. It says that it doesn't have enough energy to leave the fountain on its own, and describes that its home is along a coursing river that flows nearby.
So if I could get you to go into like a water bag or something, I can take you to your home.
Yes.
Okay, I'll
Take me.
dump my water jug in there for it to go in.
It doesn't. It fills your water jug, but it's not all of it.
I'll put my other 3 in.
And it says, wait, no, can't leave yet.
Why not?
Part of me is not here.
Where's the other part of you?
Elsewhere. I don't know.
Can you not talk with the other part of you?
It just kind of makes confused bubbling sounds.
Fair.
And says, people took me. And I am gathering strength. If you don't find me, I will find me. And it sounds a little bit more sure about itself, and says, I will find me soon.
Okay, well if
And I'm gonna.
well, I'll try my best, and if you find yourself before you, I'll be in this town if you want to come back, and I can help you get back home.
If I find me, it will be too late.
Okay, little fella.
And and it kind of swells and darkens a little bit, and then kind of goes back toward the center of the pool. And with that, I'm gonna end session.
All right.
Very cool.
So we will be meeting again in 2 weeks, right? Everybody's good with 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
What is that? That's
16.
The
It'll be our
16th?
16th session on the 16th.
Yeah, 16.
On the actual 16th in the game too.
What?
Yep.
Oh, that's amazing.
Actually,
That is perfect.
it'll be the 15th in the game, but maybe we'll get a night's sleep.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you might.
Day.
I mean, we kind of have to at that point,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it might take all night to hit 20 pubs, though.
yeah, very.
I'm not gonna be looking for pubs anymore. I'm looking for my little Aquan friend.
Well, actually, so right now it's the 14th. So the 15th is the date when the plot is. So
Oh, yeah.
and that's tomorrow.
Whoops.
So yeah, we're gonna miss it unless I just hand wave it to the next day, which I can't do. I'm sorry. But maybe we'll have 2 days next session. Who knows? Anyway, guys, what a great session. Had a lot of fun. We'll see you in 2 weeks, around 7-ish. 7:15 is usually when we start here on the channel. Thanks everyone for joining us, and have a good night.